When we think of retirement, we often imagine peace, freedom, and finally having time for ourselves. No more alarm clocks, no more meetings, and no more pressure. It sounds like a dream, right? But there's something that's often left out of this picture. Something quiet. Something most people don't talk about. And that's loneliness. You see, retirement is a huge life change. It's not just about leaving work. It's about leaving a routine, a purpose, and often, a community. Many people find themselves feeling lost, disconnected, and yes, lonely. And today, I want to talk about that. In this video, we're going to explore the side of retirement no one tells you about. We'll talk about why loneliness happens, how it affects our health, and most importantly, what we can do about it. Because retirement doesn't have to be lonely. It can be one of the most meaningful chapters of your life. Let's start with the truth. Retirement is not always easy. At first, it may feel like a long vacation. But after a few weeks or months, the novelty wears off. And suddenly, the quiet becomes too loud. Work often gives us more than a paycheck. It gives us purpose, structure, and social contact. When that ends, it can feel like a door has closed. And many people aren't prepared for what comes next. In fact, studies show that loneliness is a growing issue among retirees. According to recent research, over 1/3 of older adults feel lonely regularly. And loneliness isn't just an emotional issue. It affects physical health too. Chronic loneliness can raise blood pressure, weaken the immune system, and increase the risk of heart disease. It's even been linked to cognitive decline and early death. Some experts say loneliness can be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's how serious it is. But here's the good news. Loneliness is not a life sentence. It's something we can understand and change. It starts with awareness, and then, small but powerful actions. First, let's talk about connection. Humans are wired for connection. We need to feel seen, heard, and valued. But in retirement, many lose those daily connections. So, how do we rebuild them? One way is to stay involved in your community. Join a local club, a walking group, or a volunteer organization. Being around others with shared interests can lift your mood and give you a sense of purpose. Another way is to reconnect with old friends or relatives. Sometimes, just reaching out with a call or message can reopen a meaningful bond. You don't have to wait for others to call you. Be the one to make the first move. Technology can also help bridge the gap. Video calls, social media, or online classes can help you stay in touch, especially if you live far from loved ones. Even a weekly Zoom coffee chat can make a difference. It's also important to find new meaning after retirement. Many people feel lost without a job title or role. But you're more than your career. You still have wisdom, experience, and gifts to offer. Consider mentoring younger people, teaching a skill, or starting a blog. You might be surprised how much people want to hear what you've learned. You can also explore hobbies that bring you joy, gardening, painting, music, or learning something new. Another helpful idea is to create a routine. Structure adds stability to your day and reduces feelings of aimlessness. Set goals, even small ones. Wake up with a plan. Have something to look forward to, whether it's a morning walk, a call with a friend, or reading a good book. Let's not forget the value of pets. Having a dog or a cat can reduce feelings of loneliness and bring comfort and joy. Pets give us companionship, routine, and unconditional love. They're also a great reason to get outside and stay active. Now, let's talk about something deeper: self-compassion. It's okay to feel lonely. It doesn't mean you're weak or broken. It means you're human. Retirement is a big life transition. There are ups and downs, just like every stage of life. Allow yourself to feel, but don't let those feelings define you. You still have so much life to live, and so much joy to experience. If you're struggling, don't be afraid to seek support. Talk to a therapist, a counselor, or your doctor. There's no shame in asking for help. In fact, it's one of the bravest things you can do. And finally, don't give up on connection. People need you more than you know. There are friendships waiting to be made, conversations to be had, and new adventures to begin. Retirement can be a rebirth, not an ending. Emotional side of retirement. Let's talk about the identity shift that happens after retirement. For decades, many of us tie our identity to our jobs. We introduce ourselves with our profession. I'm a teacher, I'm an engineer, I'm a nurse. So when retirement comes, that part of our identity disappears almost overnight. This can leave a big, silent question. Who am I now? That's a hard question to sit with. And for many people, that loss of identity feeds into loneliness. Not because retirement is bad, but because we haven't learned to redefine ourselves outside of work. But here's a secret. You are still you. You are still wise. You are still worthy. You are still needed. Your value doesn't end when your career ends. In fact, now is the time when your wisdom is more powerful than ever. So what can you do to rediscover your identity? One way is to reflect on your values, not just your past roles. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me now? What brings me peace? What do I want to share with the world? Another helpful step is to tell your story. Write a memoir. Record voice notes. Share life lessons with your children or younger people. There's healing in storytelling, and people want to listen. You might also consider creating new traditions in retirement. Maybe every Thursday is your coffee with a friend day. Or you start a weekend ritual of walking in the park and talking to one new person. Routines create rhythm, and rhythm creates meaning. Also, consider the idea of micro-connections. Not every interaction has to be deep to be meaningful. Saying hello to your neighbor. Thanking the cashier at the store. Chatting with someone at the library or local cafe. These small moments add up. Let's not forget about intergenerational connection. Spending time with younger people can be uplifting. Whether it's mentoring or listening to their ideas, it can give you a sense of contribution and joy. Finally, give yourself permission to grieve the old and embrace the new. It's okay to miss your old routine or coworkers. But don't let that stop you from creating something beautiful now. So, if you're feeling lonely in retirement, know this, you are not alone. It's more common than people admit. But loneliness doesn't have to define this stage of your life. There are ways to reconnect, with others, with purpose, and with yourself. Start small. Reach out. Try something new. Your story is still being written. Retirement isn't just about rest. It's about rediscovery. It's a time to reconnect with your passions, your community, and your peace. You've spent a lifetime giving to others. Now give back to yourself. And remember, every day is a chance to feel connected and alive. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone you care about. Let's make sure no one faces retirement alone. We're in this together. Thanks for listening, and until next time, stay healthy, stay joyful, and keep shining.